How do you like your net? You like it? It looks
Yeah.
good. I think it's a good net.
Yeah.
It's like the one they had at Hacienda.
It's doing a pretty good job with the weather.
It's good.
Oh.
All you.
All right.
Just wanted to see if everything was working.
You got that yardstick?
Yes, let's measure you.
Okay.
Let's do it. Where did I put it? I lost it. I must have put it down in here somewhere. Right here. Okay.
Okay.
Let's just measure your wingspan and height.
Okay.
So, doesn't need to be perfect, but stretch it out if you can more. There you go. So where is that on your chest?
It's right in the center.
So right there. Good. 36 plus 32 and a half. That's 68 and a half
Okay.
wingspan.
Total wingspan.
So that's what, 5'8" and a half wingspan?
Okay.
So how tall are you think? Five?
Probably 5'7".
Okay.
Yeah.
So you might be slightly longer arms. So right at your seam of your shorts. With shoes on, you're pretty close. Maybe half-inch shorter height.
Okay.
You're pretty neutral.
Okay.
But half-inch is, it's a half-inch, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a big difference, but like I measured people earlier this week. One guy was 4-inch. Actually, no, my 13-year-old is 4-inch longer wingspan.
Yeah.
He has long arms and he's only this tall.
Yeah.
All right, let's measure your
Okay.
upper arm and forearm first. Find where that shoulder joint kind of ends. Be right here. It's almost like the bony part.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Go like this. There. 13. Wrist joint right there. And 11 and a half, maybe 12. So a little bit longer upper arm. Or
Okay.
yeah, upper arm. So just imagine if I'm like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a longer elbow, it'll be out here more. So
Mm-hmm.
your hand would be deeper naturally,
Gotcha.
just by doing this. Versus if you say you had a longer forearm,
Mm-hmm.
your hand would be higher, right?
Mhm.
Imagine if there's people I've measured, they're 2 inches longer sometimes with their upper forearm.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to look like they're higher or deeper. So
So-
say I saw you with, you have a slightly longer upper arm and you had really high hands. I'd have to look into that just to make sure
Gotcha.
it's, because if you're off with that, then you're off balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, your upper arm is just significantly longer. Pretty neutral with the wingspan height.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
so if you're longer wingspan, it's more up. It's more of an upswing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have a longer upper arm, so it cancels it out.
Gotcha.
So up and deep is.
So in regards to hand placement up at the top, it should look like it's somewhere in the middle. It shouldn't look here. It shouldn't
look too up. If anything, I'd rather you be pretty neutral.
Yeah.
And then arm depth or hand depth is something we can look at too.
Okay. Setup wise, do those measurements tell you anything or?
Setup wise, you'll probably be like, I look at the grip end, right? Where is it pointing at your body? You're probably gonna be lower than your belt buckle by a little bit, if anything. Mm-hmm. Because me, I'm almost like, the grip with all my clubs, it's like pointing at my junk.
Yeah.
It's like way down here. That's because I have a short torso.
Mm-hmm.
I have longer legs,
Mm-hmm.
but I have like I'm like you. I'm like half an inch longer wingspan.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like this, pretty low with
Yeah.
my hands.
Okay.
But anyways,
Any other measurements that are important or?
let's screen you. I just want to do it on because you're filming it, right?
Yeah.
Let's screen you. Let me take the club away. Okay, do that. Set
okay.
up with your palms together.
Yeah.
Okay. Add a little resistance if you can, going this way.
Okay.
Go for
And
it.
am I feeling like I'm moving my shoulders
No.
or no?
Just
okay.
point your sternum right at my pants.
Okay.
Right there.
And keep it there.
Yep. Just lift the arms. Good. Just on the backswing. Yeah. Just add a little resistance if you want. Good. Perfect. That's awesome. So you're really behind you. Okay, this is where your right elbow gets. Look how behind you. Go ahead and pull that down. Yeah, look how behind your elbow gets. Here's your seam. Okay.
Wow.
So you can go that far behind. Isn't that crazy? That's where you want to go. That's the thing. I'm not telling you how to do it.
Right.
Literally every time I measure someone, they're either. Some people are like this. It's crazy. They're like, They're like, what am I doing? I'm like, well, you're telling me everything about how you should swing a club.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that crazy? And then that 13-year-old I teach, he's right neutral, which is pretty cool. He's like this, where his elbow is just right on the seam, perfect, and his hands are just like right there.
Okay.
So it's good
Which, in my mind, is telling me that I need to have a little bit more of this look.
Yeah, let's check your hip turn.
Okay.
Okay, so keep that club stick on your legs like this, all the way down. Keep your legs or your arms straight. There.
Okay.
So keep your head centered, but go ahead and make a big hip turn to the right. Good. Okay, do that again. Yeah, so see how it's almost like your right hip is closing in on the left side, right? Your left leg dominant all day. You gotta think of your hips as the gate posts. You tend to lean this way versus Sahith. I bet you if we measured him, he'd be like this. That feels weird to me.
Yeah.
Like this to me, I'm the same way as you. I'm like this. Like I'm gonna even close my eyes so I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
See that? To me, that feels like I'm wound up.
Yeah. So when one of those periods of time where I was hitting it real nicely, I set up with a shut stance, and I felt like my left leg was my piston.
Yeah.
So I felt like my left knee popped out, and then it popped back in.
Nice.
And that was my move.
Yeah.
And my arms and my upper body just kind of went along for the ride.
That's
like
good.
I was holding it real soft, and it was just like left leg, left leg.
It's good.
Is
yeah,
it?
you're like
Yeah.
me. You're the same. You move the same as me. We're actually super similar, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it's really funny
Huh.
because that's not common.
It's not common.
This is actually the most common I've measured, is like us. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Even just normal people.
We're built so differently.
Yeah.
That's odd.
We're normal people that come in. A lot of people. I think a lot of people, because they grew up playing basketball or baseball or football, they've done a lot of throwing or jumping from this left leg. Because how do you go for a layup? A lot of people jump from their left leg, obviously. Right? Or they're, or passing.
Right.
Right. So, same with football, baseball. It all adds up because we all grow into that. We grow into what we do. All right, let's check our last thing. Go ahead and put your arm like this, 90 degrees. Don't let the chest come up. Keep that down. There. Neutral. That's good. I almost like this for you because if you went too much this, like if you had a lot, it's good to have that because you can shallow. But this is a club face opener, shallowing the club like this. But because you can't really go that far, if I try to get you to shallow, this is where you're going to go like this.
That's where I go. That's exactly what I do.
So we
just
don't
like we were talking about those practice swings just right now.
We don't need to shallow.
Yep.
You can't.
That's one of those statements that'll piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because
everybody has to get there, right?
It's like my coach says, it's an epidemic in a way that people say that. Shallowing opens the face.
Right.
Well, you can do that if you have a strong grip or you're physically able to do that. But you need to have matchups that help with that.
Sure.
Otherwise, you're fucked.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, and even for me, like at times, I can hit it on the screws every once in a while, get my right hand way underneath and really feeling like I'm coming up in here and side arming it, right?
Yeah, and you can draw it.
But from what you're telling me right now, that's not where my body actually wants to go. Okay. Cool.
I mean, you just saw it yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like when you turn like this, when people turn, they want to be balanced, obviously.
Right.
Imagine if I went balanced, if I tried to stay balanced this way, it's hard. If I'm just here, this is so comfortable, I can kind of sit into this all day.
Right.
So it really is that simple. It's so weird.
Yeah.
You don't need to overcomplicate it,
Yeah.
you know? You ready?
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you how I do my first lessons. You want me to do
Yeah.
that? And then we can just, I mean, you already know what we do
Yeah.
with you, so.
Yeah. Let me
So-
just pause the video real quick
Yeah.
and I'll start another one up.
Yep. Sweet.